Good evening, everybody. Time once again for another Make It With Me Monday. Glad to be here with you on what's now turning into these fall days. We had another beautiful one here, but we can definitely see that leaves are changing color and all that fun stuff is starting to happen. Alrighty, let me start with a couple of announcements that Stampin' Up! Made recently. I haven't had a chance to post these on my page yet, so I thought I'd bring them to your attention here tonight first. All day tomorrow, Tuesday, October 4th, there is going to be free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So if you have a long list that you've been holding on to, this would be a really great time to do it, especially if yours is over $150. There's some other ways that you could take advantage of some things I'll talk about in a minute. But remember, that's the minimum in order to get some hostess benefits. You can get lots of extra free stuff as well, in addition to your free shipping. If you have an order that's less than that and you still would like to get some things, send it over to me. Either give me a call, send me an email. There's my email address right there. And let me know what you're looking for. And I will make sure I get an order in tomorrow before it closes tomorrow. And let's all go ahead and group those together and take advantage of that free shipping day. So again, that's tomorrow, October 4th. If you have one of $75 or more and you want to just take care of it on your own, great, you'll get free shipping automatically. If you have less than that, like I said, send it on to me. We'll combine them together and take advantage of that free shipping. There is also a new starter kit promotion starting tomorrow, going through the end of the month. If you have a long list and you want to take advantage of some discounts, this would be a great way to get started on that. There is 0 requirements once you've got the kit. So don't worry that you have to do what I do or do what you see other demonstrators doing. There is 0, 0, 0 requirement for you for this. You can just use it to take advantage. We have a lot of people with that they call hobby demonstrators that just have enough in their wish list to keep them going and active and take advantage of that discount. So this time, so starting tomorrow through the end of the month, you can choose $155 worth of product, pay only $99, they will ship it for free, and you get a free paper pumpkin kit in that grouping as well. So that is a lot of great merchandise that you can get it as a discount, and then you have up to 3 months then for sure with an additional discount on your future purchases. So that's something to consider if you're not interested in doing that, but this list is a little higher. Remember, once you go over $150, you get host benefits, so more free products involved there. And if you are a fan of our kits, there's a couple new ones out there for you. There's a birthday card organizer, which has an 8x10 monthly planner and 12 cards for you to make, and then you can keep everything at your fingertips to remember everybody's birthdays. And they released a new Christmas tag and a new Christmas card kit, and they're still the ones from last year. So you'll find two different kits of tags and 2 different kits of Christmas cards. This is a great way to go ahead and get a jump start on what you want to do for the holidays, and with very minimal involved on your part. Everything arrives ready to go. All you need is a little adhesive, probably a pair of scissors. Otherwise, everything else is in that kit and ready for you to use. They've got full color instructions. They're so awesome. They make really great gifts too. So if you know someone who would like to do a little card making or other things, some of them don't even require stamping. So that's always a plus too. If someone has really never started doing anything like this, it's a great way to get them started. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our project for tonight. We are on episode number 84, if you can believe that. Holy cow. Hi, Aunt Mary. Good to see you tonight. Okay, so we are going to start with your card base, which is, I'm going to need this background because I have some black again, 5.5 by 8.5, and you wanted to have that scored at 4.25. A piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5.25. I'm going to be using Pale Papaya. And then I said you want 3 strips of designer series paper that coordinate with each other, that are each 1 by 4. And if you notice, what else I put up there in the comments of that is that if you decided to, you just need 3 strips of something, 1 by 4. So mix and match DSPs, cardstocks, whatever you like. Hey, Kathy Jo, good to see you tonight. As you see here, the ones that I'm going to be using, I kind of have 2 that are very similar. I went ahead and took some of the papers from the black and white designs and I colored them with my blend. So this is some Pale Papaya and Pumpkin Pie going on within those white stripes. I colored them up a little bit. And I'm using the Pumpkin Pie piece that's in the Brights collection with the little polka dots on it. All right, so there's my 3 strips that are 1 by 4. You want a focal point that's about 1 3/4 wide and then up to about 3 inches tall. That is totally flexible, as you see as I go and show you my samples. You can see some other things that you could do with that. Tonight I'm going to be using the Party Puffins stamp set. Haven't used this one in a while, and I always like this cute little guy with the party hat. So he is my focal point image for tonight. I stamped him on some basic white cardstock with my Memento ink pad, colored him in with some of my blends, and then did a little fussy cutting to get him to stand out. So he was colored in with pale papaya and pumpkin pie blends, and then like I said, just a little fussy cutting made him come to life there. And then you need a piece of neutral cardstock and a phrase to fit it, anywhere from about 1/2 to 3/4 wide and about 2 inches long. Again, be flexible on that if you need to, especially if there's a phrase you really want to use. You can go ahead and use what you got, because that's the whole point of this. And remember, if you have a dark cardstock and you want something to write on the inside, you're going to need a piece, a neutral piece that's also that 4 by 5 1/4 size. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So if you have not already done your focal point, go ahead and do that now while I prepare some other things. I'm going to go ahead and do my phrase. I'm going to use the Make-A-Wish that's also in the Party Puffin stamp set. He's in the annual catalog, so he's going to be around for a little while yet. One of my favorite. I've really been drawn to some of those cutesy animals lately. So I have the elephant set. Oh my gosh, the elephants with the matching dies. Oh, I have been using those, and they are so stinking cute. Love, love, love them. And if you like to color, that's another great set for that. I've been coloring cute little elephants for some cards. I'm stocking up my card boxes for craft fair time, so I'm making cute little baby cards and really fun things with those adorable little guys. Okay, so you want a focal point and you want your phrase handy, okay? Then we're gonna take your card base. I'm gonna flip this way. I'm gonna work, since my card base is black, I'm gonna work against the white paper so you can see it a little bit better. Go ahead and burnish that with your bone folder. Give it a nice firm crease. You're gonna take your 4 by 5 1/4 piece, and we're gonna start adding our cardstock strips. I'm gonna start mine right to left. This can kind of go either way. My focal point looks that direction, so that's kind of how I decided to go with that. If you want to do them on this side, that's totally cool too. You'll see some samples where I've done that as well. Now, how much space you leave in between them is up to you. I'm going to turn this way only because it's easier for me to see for the purpose of lining them up. So I'm going to go ahead and run my adhesive on the back of that. And I'm going to leave a little space here to the edge. So again, I'm working with pale papaya and pumpkin pie as kind of my color base along with my black. That kind of went with the colors of puffins, I guess, is how I kind of judge that. All right, then I'm going to leave about the same amount of space that I did here between these two pieces. And again, in case you missed it when I was first talking about this, you can use 3 strips that are 1 by 4 of anything you've got. So if you've got 3 of the same, if you've got 3 different ones, you want to mix and match designer series papers and cardstocks, please feel free. Go with what works with whatever color schemes you have going. Okay, there we go. So now I've got my strips, and again, this is going to be a horizontal card. So there are my strips, and I guess you can see I kind of set them off so that they look symmetrical. So if I turned it this way, it would still kind of be the same. Okay, and again, this was completely black and white to start with. I used my blends to color that in. All right, if you want a little dimension at this point, you could put dimensionals on the back of this layer. Oh, guess what? I'm out of tape. You can put dimensionals on the back of this layer if you want to. I'm going to keep all the parts of mine flat for now. And you can see as I go through some of my samples. I should have had this open already because I knew it was low. Pardon me while I change my Stampin' Seal. And hopefully that gives you a second to catch up if you're still working on your focal points or getting your stuff ready. All right, pop you back in. There we go. Okay, now we're cooking. There we go. So this is going to go on my card fronts. Should have an even border, like so. Okay. Now you can take your focal point is going to end up in that part that is off to the side of those. So that's why I kind of with about a maximum width, that way it's centered within that if you want it to be. You'll see other ones I've done where I've gone a little larger than that. They overlap a little bit. All of those are perfectly wonderful and absolutely okay and awesome. So whatever yours ends up looking like and doing, that's the whole point of this, is you get to be you and make it your own. All right, so there is my puffin. Put a little more tape under his foot. Boop, there we go. All right, and then my Make-A-Wish, I'm going to set across the bottom of that part right there. Okay, there again, you can decide a little bit where you want that to go. If this is one of the things you want to have highlighted over here, highlighted in the middle, there's all kinds of different things we can do with that little Make-A-Wish. So I'm going to keep mine down here, I think. And there we go. All right, so that is Mr. Party Puffin done that way. I think some of the rest of my samples will show up okay off of the black. So I'm going to put him off to the side for a second. Alrighty, let me get rid of my trash can. There we go. All right, here is another one I did using some fall shades. That time of year again, I know a lot of trees around us are changing already. So I grabbed my, excuse me, soft seedlings. It's in the mini catalog, and I absolutely love the way that these leaves are done. They're very much, they're designed to have a little light and shade to them already. So I stamped it, I inked it up first with crushed curry, and then using some sponge daubers, I added extra color to the edges. I used some pumpkin pie and some caged craze. And then when I stamped it, it had kind of like that really pretty variegated color thing going on. I also took the sponge daubers and colored in these leaves. The paper itself has white ones, but I wanted that to blend in a little more. So these come from Rustic Harvest. And I also took the leaf embossing folder and I added it to the background layer of that 4x5¼ piece. Okay. And here is where you can see I accidentally dropped my ink pad onto my phrase after I stamped it. So he also got a little bonus sponging around to sort of hopefully make that blend a little better. So always proving that there are no mistakes in stamping, only opportunities for embellishment, right? It's one of my favorite phrases. All right, now we're going back to something a little more springy and fresh looking. This is done with the Splendid Day collection. So I've used some of the metallic papers that come in that cardstock batch. I have the rustic or the time-worn type embossing folder here. And here I took and I embossed the outline in white, and then I went over it with my purple or some freesia on a blending brush. So the white kind of acts as, it's an emboss resist technique. So the white will stay white and everything else got the color. And I kind of darkened it as at the top and went a little bit lighter as I went down. And I added some fresh freesia ribbon. So that again is from the Splendid Day. This one here is, I keep going back to these little butterfly guys. I think they're so cute. So this is the Brilliant Wings dies. You get a really large collection of butterflies with overlays, different sizes. And right now, this DSP is escaping me. Hues of Happiness, I believe, is one of the backs. This is the back side of one of those. So very much a rainbow look. So I kind of have that rainbow ombre-ish thing happening in here with my Melon Mambo cardstock and then my Melon Mambo glimmer dots. So that was kind of a fun one. Then with that same stamp set that has these phrases in it, it's in the mini catalog, and it's called Very Best Occasions, and you'll find inside and outside. Oh yeah, I should show you the inside verse. So it has insides and outsides for a lot of different occasions, and so this is a really good one to hang on to if you don't have a lot of phrases. This would be a great one to pick up. There was birthday ones, there was a sympathy one, there's a Christmas one, a couple other generic ones. So it works, it's really nice, and I love the fact insides and outsides, as I like to call them. So it's not just a tagline, it also expands on into the rest of what you might need. Okay, let me set these guys aside a little bit here. So here's the one I did with the sympathy phrase from that set, and more Hues of Happiness DSP. And as you can see, I chose to take the same section of DSP so it looks like it all stays together, as opposed to using different ones. I kind of like the way that highlighted, the way that the color palette of that gets laid out. I love that they go from different shades of the blues and the yellows and the pinks and all that kind of stuff. I really, really, really love the way this one turned out. And so here again is a tag, the deckled rectangles, I stamped out that, added the two, this is actually what I would consider the front and the inside verse, and then I fussy cut some flowers from that same designer series paper. Okay, and then last but not least, let's do the stepped up version of the puffin. So I'll bring this guy back in, and here's my stepped up version. So what I did differently on this is I added an extra layer. So my 4x5¼ piece is actually the white. So I brought the black down a notch. That is 3¾ by 5. Then I took my 1x4 pieces of designer series paper and I colored them in. So these were initially black and white, so the base of it was white. And I sponged on papaya and pumpkin to cover up the white, and you can see it's kind of like with an ombre effect. And then I also did the same thing with the happy birthday phrase. That's a little bit longer, so you see I went a little longer on the phrase. But I did the same thing there. So it's got the darker part here, a little bit lighter here. Still the same puffin, same color scheme and everything, but just a little bit more layering. So There's some more dimension here. The base is popped up, the puffins popped up, the phrase is popped up, stuff like that. And then a little bit more accenting of things with my blending brushes and use of color, and just one extra layer behind the whole thing. So not a lot of razzmatazz with that. Kind of stuck a lot to what I'd already done, but I thought it was still a fun way to show off the way that you can play with your paper. That's especially something, hey Jesse, good to see you tonight. Something that comes black and white, remember, it doesn't have to stay black and white. Use your blends, use your blending brushes, all kinds of different things to go ahead and change out the looks of that into whatever you need it to be. All right, so let's go ahead and lay these back out again. There's my fall one and my sympathy one. Go a little bit more this way. And the butterflies and the splendid day. And then I would like to thank fellow demonstrator Amanda Van Havermate, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. This is the one I received from her as a swap. And so this one's a little bit similar with the fall coloring, and I even use the same DSP that she used Rustic Harvest from. But I want to thank her for the idea for that layout. And I think I know, Kathy Jo, the puffins are so stinking adorable. I love the fact that like the one for the present is just a little fish with a bow on it. I think that is so cute. And he looks really cute if you fussy cut him and like put him in that guy's little hands like he's holding on to it like a gift. He's so cute. All right, everybody, that is it. The video will be up in a second. You can go back and review the things I was talking about the specials that are coming up starting tomorrow. And I will make sure that all of those links and all the more detailed information gets put up there as well, so you can go back and check on that and read all about it. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining me tonight, and I'll see you again next Monday. Take care.